Hey guys, what's up? It's iFlynn here, and today we're going to be taking a look at how to play Garuda. Now, Garuda is a new Warframe that was introduced with the Fortuna update, and you can actually play her in a multitude of different ways. So, for example, you can play her as a very fast Warframe using your first ability and your second ability to jump from target to target and just kill them with a melee weapon, for example. You can use her as a self-sustaining Warframe, combining your second ability and your third ability to keep your health and energy up, or you can use her as a nuking frame with your fourth ability and your first ability, because your 4 is for widespread slash procs and damage dealing, and then your 1 is kind of defensive and also has like an offensive orb that you can throw at enemies and just make them explode. It's kind of cool. So that'll all become apparent whenever we jump into a mission. I'm probably going to jump into a defense and show you how I like to play her in a defense mission opposed to the likes of an exterminate or something, because I just feel like, a lot of her abilities become super useful in a sort of enclosed environment, right? But that being said, she's really, really fun to play in the likes of the Orb Valis or the Plains, because I feel like she was designed for these types of open worlds with her second and her first ability because of the big leap that they have, right? So, yeah, like I said, that'll all become apparent whenever we jump into a mission. But let's go ahead and take a look at the build first. Now, my Warframe is looking at something whenever I come to this area of the ship, and it's up there, which is kind of weird. I think it's the arsenal. I don't know. But, yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the build. Now, with this build, where Power Drift, Natural Talent, and Transient Fortitude is, those three mods would be mods that I would swap out depending on how you want to play her. So, for example, you may want to swap out Transient Fortitude for Hunter Adrenaline if you want to be more self-sustaining, so that way you get energy back whenever you take damage to your health, right? So, it just kind of complements the overall idea of being a self-sustaining Warframe. Having mods on there that help out with that, it's pretty nice. So that's if you just want to run around and kind of jump with your 1 and your 2 and do a buttload of things. Of course, there is the ideal of having 200% power strength to get 100% bleed chance on your fourth ability. That's why Transient Fortitude is on this build, but it's not necessary, right? Because of the type of content that you're going to be playing, like sorority level content. Having Hunter Adrenaline on there is just going to be fine, and having like 75% and above bleed chance on your fourth ability is still pretty good as well. Like, enemies are going to die regardless if you're combining your 4 and your 1 together. So yeah, there's that. So Power Drift, Natural Talent, and Transient Fortitude would be the mods that I would recommend swapping around. So for example, you could swap out Natural Talent for Augur Message or Augur Reach, depending if you want more duration or range. It's really down to you. Power Drift, like, you can swap that off for Cunning Drift. You can swap that out for any other Exilus mod. You could maybe, sacrifice a few ranks on Transient Fortitude to have a higher rank Power Drift and then have higher duration as well. That's definitely a thing. I don't know if I have any spare Transient Fortitudes to actually show you guys how that would work. So here we go. As long as we have over 200% power strength, we should be good to go. So how much is that? That's 13. Let's go with this one. So yeah, you see we have higher duration. We've got less drain, of course, because it's a lower rank transient, but we're still staying over that 200% power strength that we need to get that 100% bleed chance on the fourth ability. So, that's pretty good. I would actually recommend this over the likes of having a max rank on, depending on, like I said, the type of content that you're playing. Maybe you want higher power strength going into like an endurance run or something. It's really down to you. This is just going to give you the leeway to kind of upgrade your mods a little bit more. So let's go ahead and throw on a higher rank Power Drift right there. We can maybe fit on the max rank. There you go, right? So higher duration, a little bit more power strength as well. Or you could swap that off for, I don't know, something else. Up to you, really. So with all that being said, let's actually explain it. So Umbral Vitality for health, Umbral Intensify for strength. Of course, Umbral Vitality, Umbral Intensify, they're going to buff one another up. Prone Continuity for duration off our second ability and our fourth ability, the bleed procs and stuff. I think it affects the bleed procs, not too sure. Maybe it's just a standard. Oh, it does. 16.8. So there you go. It does affect it. Awesome. I was right in saying that. Okay. Augur Secrets for more strength, Constitution for more duration. The duration is mainly for the first and second ability, come to think of it, because your shield, the gore shield that you have up, is affected by duration, and then how long enemies stay impaled to give you that health back with the second ability is affected by duration as well, right? Quick thinking, so we basically don't die. We don't need flow in here because we're a self-sustaining Warframe. We just hit our third ability. We sacrifice health, we get energy back. So there's no real need for efficiency or the likes of flow. That being said, if you really want to, you could swap off Natural Talent or Augur Secrets or something, maybe even Constitution for Streamline if you really, really wanted to. And then that is more or less the gist of the build, right? So I didn't build for range at all, simply because I didn't see any point. You could build for more range if you wanted to. Take off natural talent for stretch, take off augur secrets for augur reach. Then you'd have like a wider healing radius with the second ability, right? So let's go ahead and read for the abilities because it's important to know that stuff. So rip the life force from the enemy and use it as a shield that captures damage. So you're going to leap to an enemy, you're going to rip him in half, implying he is below 40% health, 40% or below his total maximum health. That'll insta-kill him. You still get the shield even if you don't insta-kill him, so don't worry about that. You're going to get the shield. Your shield is going to absorb damage, and then you're going to be able to hold your first ability to make this ball, which you're going to throw, and it's going to explode, dealing damage to all surrounding enemies within the power range, right? So the range is 30 meters, and you can increase that with range mods, which is really, really cool. Second ability, Blood Altar. Impale an enemy on an altar of talons and siphon health for Garuda and her allies. So you can make a field of healing. You can impale 3 enemies at a time, and it's just going to give you health back whenever you're within the range of the enemy that you impale, which is awesome. So you have 56% health per second, which is insane healing, right? That works in conjunction with your third ability, Bloodletting. Garuda sacrifices her health to generate energy, so self-sustaining. That way you can kind of combo maybe Hunter Adrenaline, Quick Thinking, or just Quick Thinking, keeping yourself alive, keeping your energy up, and, you know, insanely awesome frame, not dying. Then you have Seeking Talons, which is charged to expand the targeting area, releasing Garuda's talons, careening towards each target in the area. Surviving enemies are prone to bleeding. So with this ability, if they're affected by it, if they get hit by it, you can actually take a weapon like the Amprex, which doesn't deal any slash damage, and deal slash damage to those enemies, which is cool. Well, not slash damage, but you can make a slash proc happen, which is great. With the build that I'm running on my Amprex, I do have Hunter, what's it called? I forget the name. Why did I forget the name? Hunter Munitions on. So it is going to get slash procs because it's a crit weapon. So, but this just kind of helps even further. Having slash procs is just going to increase your overall DPS through armor, through shields, and all that cool stuff. And then I have Velocity and Strike on here for my Arcanes. You can swap that out for Grace and Guardian for more self-sustaining and just overall survivability, which is awesome. You could, if you really, really wanted to, use the likes of Umbral Fiber for more armor. It's really down to you. You have BS 300 armor, which is pretty nice. You don't need to use Natural Talent. I just like using Natural Talent because, like, I like how fast the animations are with the fourth ability, with the first ability, the second ability. Third one doesn't really matter so much, but it just makes the frame a little bit more smooth to play. But I can definitely understand if you don't want it. It's not necessary at all, and I can understand if you would rather have more duration or more range or streamline or anything else. It's entirely down to you. It's a very versatile build, and she's a very versatile frame to play. And like I said, we're going to jump into the likes of a defense mission and test her out there, so I can kind of show you how I like to play her in that type of environment, like in a closed sort of tight space, because that's where you're going to be playing her, like at endgame level, tighter spaces, opposed to those open world areas. Open world areas, it's totally fine, like you can do anything, but in these bigger areas, or no, in these tighter areas, it's important that you kind of use your abilities effectively to make the most out of playing Garuda, right? On top of that, if you unequip your meta weapon, you also have these talons right here. And these are just weapons that you would build for Crit Condition Overload Hybrid. They're pretty nice. It's just claws. They're cool. It's a cool thing to come with Garuda. I don't know. I still use my own Zaw because Zaws are kind of meta right now. But maybe in Melee 3.0, I'll use these a little bit more. Maybe they'll have some sort of cool effect or gimmick. But I'll use them in this video. But, you know, that being said, passive. Let's see if we can see the passive abilities. As Garuda nears death, her damage increases, slashes with her talons if no melee weapon is equipped. So yeah, that's all of her passive stuff. So let's go ahead and jump into Hydron and help some people level their stuff, right? So here we go. So the idea behind it is I'm going to be jumping to an enemy with my first ability, and then whenever I jump to him, if I don't kill him instantly with the one, then I'm going to be impaling him with my two, creating a field of healing for myself and my team. Then I'm going to sacrifice that health that I'm getting to charge up my fourth ability with the energy that I get back from my free. And then I'm going to like hitch myself into a corner to affect as many enemies as possible with my 4. And then use my 1 to finish them off, right? So recasting my 1. Okay. So let's go ahead and get some of our energy. I have an Extinguished Dragon Key on, which is not so good. I'm pretty sure that's No, hold on. I should go unequip that before we continue, in case that... I forget if that affects my power strength or if it's my shields. I think it's my power strength, though, because I didn't see my shields being decreased. Let me see. Doo-doo. Yeah, damage is greatly reduced. Well, might not be my power strength, but does something to do with my damage, so I want to be dealing full damage. That's a big old dirt per video. 1 dirt per video, right? So let's jump in again. I feel bad for that grip that we just left. Oh, never mind. I think I'm getting them all back anyway. Maybe not that guy. No, there's one guy that we didn't get back, at least, I think. So, unfortunate. But if we load in. Load in faster, my dude. You got this. You got this. Sacrifice your health for your energy, right? So we got our maximum energy. What we're going to do, spawn in the badmans. We're going to wait for them. Where are you going to spawn from? Where are you going to spawn from? Going to jump to him. Put him on this pike. Get my energy. Hold 4 in a corner. Let it go. Hold my 1. Everything's dead. Well, everything within the range, at least. Another fun fact is you can actually build your combo on an enemy that you impale with your second ability, right? So if you're going full melee, you can use this to build up your combo counter, which is awesome. So, basically, you just want to make a field of healing and keep your energy and health up at all times. Use your 4 to spread widespread slash procs, and use your 1 to finish anyone off that doesn't get killed by your 4, right? Because they're going to be, like, continuously losing their health because of the slash procs from your 4th ability, that you can become pretty damaging. And then, of course, use the impaled enemies to, you know, if you're playing melee, keep your berserker stacks up on your combo counter going and all that jazz. And whenever you need more energy, just sacrifice with your 3rd ability, and then there you go. So, make the field of healing near the pod, so then your teammates are getting healed. But then whenever it comes to, like, the end of the round, you're going to have to look at the enemies and then cast your 2 again for them to die, right? So we jump to that guy. Okay, they all instantly died. Maybe we have a Serum player. No, it was just a Gar. Okay. But yeah, we got the shield. The shield is going to, like, absorb damage for us, implying we're looking at the enemy. So if this guy were to shoot us, it would absorb the damage. Then we just hold it, recast, and he's dead. Okay? So let's go ahead and make a field of healing for our Rhino player here. And then we're going to find another a bad guy to rip apart so I can get my shield, right? So there we go. And if he's below 40% health and I use that 1st ability, my glasses were just hit off my microphone arm, then he would instantly die, right? Got that guy off the thing, and then it's new round. So sweet. So you see what we've got a duration on this 1st ability. So modding more for duration will let you be a little bit more carefree with the entire kit, right? So what we can do, use our 4th ability to kind of, like, kill enemies as they spawn. The great thing about it as well, it seems to be a little bit inconsistent, but sometimes I can get my 4th ability to go through walls, which is kind of cool. But as long as you're within that little circle that you create, right? So you see how it expands? I think that's actually affected by range. But as long as they're in this little circle, this little targeting reticle that you get, then they're going to get hit by the slash procs, which is awesome. And then you can either jump to them with your 1, your 2, or you can finish them off with your little orb, which I believe also goes through walls as well, which is awesome. So let's get this guy off his pike. Probably going to extract at 5 because really there's nothing else to it. But yeah, she is a crazy strong frame if in the right hands. Let's go ahead and cast this at the start of the rounds. Hit some enemies. I don't think we hit any that time. Big old feels bad. Don't know if any even spawned. Any? There you go. So as long as they're within that reticle, they're going to get hit. There's our little healing field again. Let's leap to an enemy with our 1st ability. Awesome. Absorb some of that damage. Kill those guys. Okay, wasn't enough. Let's go ahead and hit them with our 4th. They're going to die because of the slash procs. Super damaging ability, especially against these level of enemies. Get these guys off their pikes. Leap to this guy, get our shields. Let's just go ahead and finish him off. Put him on a pike, because why not? Teammate beside it. Looks like he needed health. He didn't really, because they're all standing beside the pod. But, okay, never mind. That's the last guy, I think. He's dead. These runs are going really, really fast. So hopefully that, kind of demonstrates how to play Garuda. She's a pretty good frame. Just put enemies on pikes. Fourth ability, the nuke. Combine that with the 1 to also nuke, because why not? Of course, make sure to store up the damage. Just keep on leaping from enemy to enemy. Let's go ahead, put that guy on a pike because my health was low. Got this guy. Any more? Is this the guy? Did I see one? Oh, he's gone. There he is. I don't have enough energy. Use my third ability. Knock him over. Jump to him again. Stores up damage. First ability, dead. Bye-bye, guy. Sacrifice. Press 4. These guys are going to die. It just goes in a loop. Constant cycle, right? And of course, you have to be within that little field marked on the floor to get your healing. So you'll tell based on whether or not you're kind of linked to the enemy, right? So, Deadman's just gets ripped in half. Super awesome frame. I enjoy playing her, especially in the big open world tile sets. Hopefully you guys enjoy playing her as well. I'm not really leveling anything, so big old unfortunate for these guys. Sad about it. We're gonna wait for the timer to count down. I think that one guy was... Oh, never mind. He's there. He's there. But yeah. She's a pretty solid... Did we just leave that guy in a zone? I feel bad now. Did he extract? Hopefully he extracted. I think he did. That would have been bad. But, oh, I didn't even show being able to proc the slash procs with the Amprex. I mean, I have Hunter Munitions on it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But, yeah, the fourth ability makes them more susceptible to slash procs, which is great for your overall damage dealing. So, yeah, great frame. I recommend picking her up. You get her from Orb Valis Bounties, and play her how you like, because I would say that she's one of those frames which is really, really hard to make a bad build for, you know? Like, 9 times out of 10, as long as you have a little bit of power, strength, duration, you know, maybe range, and you have decent amount of efficiency, or at least a way to self-sustain yourself, then you're probably building Garuda in a way which is going to be effective. So, yeah, there's not really a lot that you could do to mess her build up. But, yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button below. If you want to see more Warframe content from me, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.